I think it's very significant that we have Tony Neary here today from Medtronic. I'm sure he would rather not be in here talking about a negative aspect that is affecting his business, that is affecting not only his company, but the 6,000 employees within the Parkmore Industrial Estate, not to mention the traffic issues right across the city. I think the key thing here is solutions. And we have to work on short to medium term solutions as well as the longer term picture. Last year, the then Minister for Local Government, Simon Coveney, I invited him to Galway to meet with local authority members and the business leaders in the Parkmore area in relation to setting out timeframes, targets, actions, both short, medium and long term. And I have to say that did happen. And there was good progress at the time, but I felt it went off the boil over the last few months, and you can hear it here today, the sense of frustration with the lack of movement. Funding, and please correct me if I am wrong here, is not the issue. You were told that last year. It's about setting out targets and timeframes and having a plan of action. Again, this would be a question for me, the city manager. Do you need a project manager? What are the stumbling blocks in relation to progressing this? I know there's CPOs, there's planning issues, all of that. I think we need to lay them out here in the public record. Do you need more resources from the department? What do we need to assist you to, because the plans are there, the solutions are there. I'm hearing this constantly from the multinationals, and there's a great sense of frustration that they have the solutions, they're willing to work and even invest and help with regard to funding, but the push, the drive isn't there. And if it's a case where you need extra resources, a project manager to drive this, that needs to happen. And we, I know, as elected representatives, would be quite willing to assist in that way. I agree with Brian Call in relation to laying out, I suppose, the short term, and you said that there has to be parallel solutions. There are lots of small things that won't be the silver bullet solution. None of us are saying that, but there is definitely a lack of progress in relation to pushing this agenda, not just for Parkmore, but right across the city. We need a public integrated transport system. We need park and rides identified, north, south, east, west of the city centre. And I would ask both the county manager and city manager, where is that at in regard to identifying park and ride sites? Yes, we need the park and ride sites. We also need, as my colleague here says, the bus routes, the bus lanes, where people are not sitting in traffic. If you're in a bus, you're going to be on a designated bus lane. Where is that at? What are the stumbling blocks in relation to progressing that? These are the solutions. I think that's what we need to come from this meeting here today. Looking at, yes, the outer city bypass, absolutely important, but that's going to be at least 10 years. If it's less, that's great. I'll stand corrected, but we can't sit on our hands until then. We need to have this parallel process going on. Our short, medium term solutions and integrated public transport, park and ride will be key to that. And I know there's a great willingness with the multinationals there to work with whoever, but if you need a project manager, please state it now. This is your time. And funding, as I understand, is not the issue. It's a lack of leadership in relation to dealing with our traffic problems.
Deputy Naughton, I think your questions have covered most of them in terms of the fact that I don't want to talk about traffic. I would love to be invited here to talk about something else and some other topic, and that's why I feel so passionate about this, because I think from an industry point of view, particularly a medtech industry point of view, we have made massive advances as a country, and certainly as Galway as an area, in terms of transforming healthcare around the world. Okay, we should have the same ambition in terms of what we do with our infrastructure to allow our people to succeed.
Do you feel there needs to be more leadership in relation to the Parkmore area with regard to actions and targets and timeframes?
What I can say is, in my world, accountability and having a project leader certainly works well in terms of delivering results. Specifically in relation to this, I think it's important that those who are responsible determine exactly how it should be organised.
The bus system and the public transport system is really what we think needs to be tackled very quickly. So that's down as the short-term measures. The ring road is there potentially as a medium to long-term measure, but certainly the bus priority and the traffic network through the city centre, we have those down as key things to be started in the short term.